What's up? Welcome to the lab. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz. Good to see you as always. Little midday, early evening, live here. Testing. Joined by my good friend, Trevor Lee. Trevor Lee, how you doing, man?
I am good. Good to see you, Josh.
It's always good to see you, man. You know, I just wanted to tell you that you do have a YouTube channel, correct?
Yeah.
Is it gone? People are telling me it's gone.
It was getting like spammed with just crazy comments after the thing with Seth, so it's hidden, but it's there.
Imagine spamming somebody's comments. I mean, just pathetic. Well, sorry about that. That's just terrible.
It happens.
Yeah, I suppose it does. So, other than that, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's nice and hot here in Tennessee.
Yeah, what is it there? What's the tempi?
Mid 80s.
Nice. It's like cool weather, right?
Oh, it's close.
We're getting there. It's gonna be summertime. All right, man. Well, let's just get into it. We had a conversation. Well, we have lots of them, but for anybody that, first of all, let me just say this, because there was some confusion about the last show, that we did. And I want to say that neither of us are anti Seth Rogers. We don't advise him. We aren't advising him. Correct, Trevor?
Right. Absolutely.
And we wish him the best in his search for Sebastian. And if he ever needs us or me or Trevor, we're here. Okay. But other than that, we understand the feelings that he has. So, we just want, I want that to be clear. And I'm sure that I speak for Trevor when I say that same thing. Excuse me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's in a position that nobody should be in. Any parent that's child is missing, you can't even begin to put yourself in those shoes. So I would never try.
Yeah. And it's just not, it's just, we became friendly and sort of fond of each other and all that kind of stuff. And, but these things, it's just an ebb and flow, but we're not specifically here to talk about that. What we're here to talk about specifically is the misconstrued ideas and thoughts that are being perpetrated by some of the lowest forms. And I don't want anybody, please, in the chat to say any names. Mods, if you see names of people that don't belong in the chat, just please get rid of it, because I'm not going to. They will want to be promoted. They want traffic to their channel. You want it, you can go find it. I'm not going to put that horse shit right here, because some of the stuff that I heard yesterday is just downright defamation, blasphemy, idiocy, just Neanderthal type words.
All the words
Put together to make some of the stupidest statements and sentences I've ever heard in my life. And for anybody to placate that is insane. And I'm telling you, it's just flat out wrong. Now, can you say whatever you want? Sure. But we'll do the same. You got to understand that there are people that are not operating on the same intellectual level as others. That's just life. I'm not saying I'm smarter than anybody, but you can clearly see when somebody opens their mouth if they're not functioning on top shelf liquor. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that. And I'm going to defend my friend, Trevor, because I told him that I would from day one. And there's just a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed, because I believe that Trevor's efforts for Sebastian not only have been misconstrued, but they've been twisted into this ridiculous sort of content that people want to thrive on, when nobody else has done a damn thing that is criticizing Mr. Lee. And I call you Mr. Lee because you're a young man. You're not a kid. And I want to reiterate that you're a young man, a man. You may be young, but you're a man. Okay. And I'm respecting you as one. You're not a boy. You're not a kid. You're responsible for your actions. And I want you to tell everybody why you wanted to do this today.
Well, I appreciate it, Josh, and for all you said and for this opportunity to talk about it, because I think it has been kind of just misconstrued, to say the least. So people know that I interviewed Chris Proudfoot's ex-wife, Nina Gomez. When earlier in the case, someone who happened to watch my channel and also is close with Nina reached out. They just happened to see me on YouTube. YouTube stretches all across the country, let alone the world. This person saw it and said that they respected my platform and wanted to know if I would have her on to tell her story. And at that point, that's what I did. And I interviewed Nina. Really, I just gave her the platform. I mean, I took myself off the screen. She told her story, and that was that. I didn't hear her story once prior to the interview. I wanted her to just tell it once. I didn't want it to be guided at all. I didn't want to have any influence on it. I didn't want to know it before we turned the camera on. So until we hit record, I didn't know anything about it. So she told her story, and it went out. And there were some people that liked that it was out, some people that didn't. I respected everyone's opinion on it. Well, as people know, Chris and Nina have a ongoing custody case. Chris has addressed it. It's been addressed all over. He's talked about it himself. They share a daughter. They've had a custody case. Due to me being the one who interviewed Nina, I was called as a witness on the case. I did not insert or ask to be part of the case. I did not conspire with Seth to take down Chris Proudfoot, as it's been said. My actions have only been, but all of my actions, down there, boots on the ground, or here in this area, have been to help bring Sebastian home. That interview was simply to give Nina her platform to tell that story, agree with it or not. I did not even think at that point that it would have any impact on a custody battle, but they said, we're going to bring you in because you did that interview. Okay. Well, I never testified. I never even was involved. I sat on a Zoom meeting on the outside, literally staring at just a screen of myself for 4 hours that day and didn't hear a second of the hearing. I'm telling you guys, I logged in. The court monitor said, we're going to put you in a private room because you're potential witness. They kicked me off. They put me off there. I sat there and stared at my face for 4 hours. And I had zero impact on that court hearing. I had zero interest or ask to go to that court hearing. I was requested by the attorneys involved, or by the attorney involved, and they asked me they put me on the list. So I got sent the link and I was sitting there. And that's all it came to. I didn't have any impact on it. I didn't ask to be involved in it, and I wasn't involved in it. My name was on a list, and I wasn't even brought up as a witness.
So, all these rumors and speculation that you were inside the courtroom and that you were representing Nina, which is it's also just sensationalized. And a lot of I knew that when you did the interview with Nina, um that a lot of people would appreciate it, and then a very loud subsection, almost subspecies of people would throw their hands up in rage and go, "How can you do that? Oh my god!" And you're just going, "Well, that's how the internet works." I was a little surprised at the amount of backlash, because the people that want to be heard desperately want to be heard. You better hear their voice. You better not slight them, because they can fire up a live too and have a go at it, and say insane things, things that have no bearing on anything. You might not like my coverage. You might not like Trevor's coverage. You might not like my point of view. You might not like Trevor's point of view. But we're not going to make stuff up. Just we don't. I don't do that. Trevor doesn't do that. We're not making anything up. We can have our opinions. People are not the opinion police. Just because I don't think like you, and God, I'm so happy that I don't. A lot of people. I'm so happy that I don't think like a lot of different people that I just see. Because I would probably just get tired of walking into walls all day. You know what I mean? And I think we see a lot of that, oh, the window's really clear. Oh, no, that's not a window. You can walk right through it. And then they run into the glass. Um, those are the kind of people that we're dealing with here.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I want to create a distinction too. If you didn't agree with that interview, that's completely fine. I had plenty of people that came and said that they didn't for whatever reason, and I respected that is what it is. I wasn't
Totally.
out there to be everyone's cup of tea. But I also feel like the truth about my basically non-involvement, but my name on that list involving the custody hearing should be also factual, because the way it had been presented is very different than the truth. I know as much from that hearing as you guys do. I was not involved in a second of it. I was on this little screen, like I said, that was waiting the whole time, and then they said I didn't need to go. And if I had got brought up, I literally was going to be the way I was told is I'd be answering basically like when I did that interview, how I was approached to do that interview, because it was going to possibly be a piece of evidence. So I had to I don't know the word, but basically, make sure, verify information about it, that it was recorded when it was, after this, before the stuff it's being spoken, basically just being the one presenting because that I did the interview and that's it. I wasn't, being a character witness. I don't know anybody in that case. I don't know either of the adults. I don't know anybody in that case. That wasn't why I was there. I was asked because I did the interview and I wasn't even involved in the hearing at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, there's the answer to that. I've just heard a lot of different rumors and speculation. And I know that I'm when you talked to me this morning and you were thinking about, how do we, how should we go about this? And I think really just the best thing to do. And if, like I said, if people don't want to listen to this, they don't have to. If people don't want to give it the time of day, that's fine. That's not what this is for. We're not here to bash Seth. We're not here to bash Chris or Katie. Maybe Chris a little bit, but I'm just kidding. Okay. I'm kidding. Somebody said the other day, they said, did did you compare the Iranian president to Chris Proudfoot? And I didn't, other than, saying words and meaning them the way that they did. It was a joke, but I don't care about that. I have no evidence that Chris or Katie are guilty of anything, nor Seth, nor anybody. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with that case. I don't think anybody knows what the hell's going on with it. I have feelings about it. I think that there are, like every case, I always feel like there's somebody close to the situation that knows something. And I'm allowed to feel that way. You're allowed to feel that way. People in the chat are allowed to feel that way. Now, that being said, some of the rhetoric that I've heard is just downright Like I said, it's slanderous. It's defamatory. I mean, these are things that actually are defamatory, meaning they're actionable. If somebody was to take heart what was said by some people, that could cause a problem for you in your life, correct?
Correct. And I just
Correct.
want to clarify that we're talking about something separate from the initial presentation of my involvement in the custody hearing. That was just, I feel like, misconstrued. But the stuff that moves on to more slanderous territory was a separate content.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, and it's look, it's bothersome to most normal thinking people, and then to some, it's like, oh, that makes tons of sense, you know. And the fact of the matter is, these attacks are unfounded. These attacks are ridiculous, and most of them are just flat out lies. Flat out lie. Not most of them. I would say basically all of them, because I didn't even know that people were talking about you being at the court case. I mean, when do you know when that started?
Within the past few days, it had been talked about in chats and stuff, and then it was actually brought out yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. So it was brought out yesterday, and you're here to clear it up again. And the reason you said that you weren't physically in the courtroom, you were on a Zoom meeting in a waiting room, listening to nothing possibly could be called to testify about the interview that you gave, but that never came to fruition.
Correct. And yeah, like I was literally sitting on a screen that said the judge's name, and then it showed my face, like my camera, and I was just sitting there for, like I said, about 4 hours doing nothing.
And I want people to understand, I'm not doing this for content. What did I say to you before we did this? What was the main thing that I said to you?
You said that it was up to me. I mean, you said you support
Well,
me
not
either way,
only did
whether
I
we did or
say
not.
that, but I said, you don't owe anybody an explanation.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't. You're choosing to do this, but you don't owe anybody an explanation. Now, it's nice of you to give one, but I flat out don't think that I don't think that you need to. But I understand why you would want to, because you've been on the, when I say ground floor, a lot of these people in the chat, including me, wouldn't know about the Sebastian Rogers case unless they followed you and then followed me, because I was following you. Now, we're not taking any credit in that, and other than doing what we had intended to do, that was to get the case out there. And whenever you do that, inevitably, when it picks up steam, people are going to feel entitled and protective and territorial over people, because people reach out to people and they get invested. And that's happened to me, and I know that's happened to you, and it's not a great idea. Okay. And I understand that, especially from the turn of events, you know, that we've been dealing with. How is it though? How did you come across the Sebastian Rogers case?
Well, I follow the TBI on all social media pages, and they put out the endangered child alert like that morning, and that's initially when I saw it, is when they put out the first alert.
And then you just started sharing after that?
Yeah, I did a video or a live stream initially after I saw the alert, and then was just posting since, because it moved up to the Amber Alert. You know, more information was coming out, more searches, so I just kept posting from there.
Yeah, and that's like, and then you did a few lives on it. That's when I started paying attention, because I hadn't even talked to you about it, and then I heard it, and I was like, well, let's talk about it. And um, you know, I know there's a lot of people that ended up going that go to Tennessee, that ended up going to Tennessee. They kind of crowdfunded their way there. Uh, you did none of that. You didn't even tell people you were going. You don't. I mean, how many searches did you do that weren't recorded?
I didn't record any of them. I had multiple while I was there. Hung flyers, got flyers. That's when I met Seth. I was busy while I was there, and then we've put flyers up here as well in East Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, and so obviously this was something, like that has been bothering you. I mean, what would you just tell people um that don't really know the involvement that you had? Like, what, I mean, you put it, I believe you put in a lot of effort, and are not, I wouldn't say solely responsible, but you were a big part of this, which, by the way, you have backed off, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, at the request of Seth, fair enough. I mean, like I said, nobody's pushing past that. That's not what this is about. This is about people. When that altercation happened, people really, really chose sides. And I'm telling you that there's really no reason to choose sides, because nobody knows who's right and nobody knows who's wrong. Nobody knows where Sebastian is. Sebastian Rogers out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, is still missing. Not a sign of him anywhere to his existence. There's no proof of life. There's no proof of death. There's nothing. It feels like he vanished into thin air, but he didn't. That's the thing. He did not disappear into thin air. It's not possible. It doesn't happen. So he's somewhere, and he either got there on his own, which I highly doubt. I don't know if you've ever walked outside in under 30-degree weather to do anything, but if you have any sensation or feeling in your feet whatsoever, it feels like you're getting stabbed with needles. I can't imagine anybody liking that feeling. So, people don't, I mean, it's ridiculous to think that he was in such a rush to run away that he didn't put his shoes on. It's asinine. And I know there are people that think that he ran away and got wounded or something. I'm telling you, it's been 80 days and not a trace, not a, once again, the bloodhounds, that, there is nothing. It's a big, fat, you know what I mean? And it's frustrating. And that vacuum gets filled with people comparing you to Ted Bundy, Trevor.
That's what happened.
I mean, how do you respond to something like that?
Well, I know I was informed last night that I am, equivalent to Ted Bundy, and I make children in Tennessee go missing.
I noticed that too when I was listening. I go, wait, so Trevor's responsible for for 40 something kids going missing?
Well, first it was Summer, then Sebastian, then it was just all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And how you, like, somebody said, like, Scott Peterson showed up to his wife's vigil too. Like, what the hell? I mean, it's just really unbelievable. Like, people should be in a straitjacket. Should be ashamed of yourself. Even if you're just a hateful human that can't see past their own nose, because they're so infatuated with their thoughts and their feelings. I mean, that's even too far for most. Okay. But to sit there and placate somebody just shows me that, one, you probably didn't graduate high school. Two, if you did, they probably refused to give you your diploma. And three, they may have just kicked you out because you couldn't fit in the desks anymore, And so that there's three things that I just want to say there. But um I'm here to defend you, man. I told you I was with you. And I know there's a lot of people that say, well, Trevor, you should watch who you associate with. I agree. I mean, I agree, man. It's just ridiculous. Like you're my friend. I care about you a lot. And I don't like what people are doing to you. And I know you don't like it either. I mean, you're not made for that kind of stuff.
Well, I appreciate that, Josh, and just to have the platform to talk about. Like I said, all I wanted was the truth out, and then people can take what they want from it. I had no actual involvement in any kind of custody court hearing. That is not my place, and also a court would not want that. Why would they say some person that doesn't know either of the people involved, let's come in and get your testimony? I was simply called because I recorded an interview that was possibly going to be used in court, and so I was pulled on to be there, and that's all that happened. And then apparently that blew up to I have conspired, and then that blew up to I'm a serial predator. So that's why I wanted to just put the truth. And there's no caveats that break off from it. It's not as exciting as people wanted it to be, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, look, the truth is the truth, and you know they'll somehow take this and misconstrue it somehow and say, yeah, they're twisting words. Well, we're not. We're just telling you. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm telling you the flat out truth. I was disgusted by the stuff that I heard. I turned it off after about 45 seconds. It was sent to me by many different people. And let's just put it this way: I don't care. I don't care about those people. They don't. They're not worthy of addressing. But if it was me, I've been called everything, so it doesn't matter. But when somebody with a pure heart, and I truly believe that about you, Trevor. I've told you that. I've said this many times that you have the drop on all of these people because you have a pure heart. And I'll tell you this, and Seth, if you're listening, Seth and I did have a conversation, and I brought you up, and we talked about your pure heart. And I said, I wish I had what he has, but I don't. I don't. I wish I did. I wish I was a better person. I wish that I did things in a more proper way. I wish I wasn't so coarse sometimes. Seth agreed. And he also agreed that you have a pure heart. And that's why I find it repugnant and diabolical, the things that people are saying, because it's a great sadness in my life that people are attacking you that the way that they are. And if they are attacking you, it's because your association with me, mostly, not because of the things that you do, not because of the person that you are. They don't like me, so they don't like you. And they'll do anything to disparage somebody that has a pure heart because evil sees light and darkness wants to put out light, but light cannot be put out by darkness, Trevor. And you have light, and you're going to be something great. You're going to be something great.
Well, thank you, Josh. And contrary to your opinion, you are a good person, and I appreciate you being my friend.
It's easy to be friends with you, man, because I know who you are. A lot of people just hear what we say and talk about when we're on the air here, and it's not like you're a real person, with real feelings, and you have a family just like I do, and um, at night you have to be comfortable with who you're, at least be comfortable with who you are. And I know that you are. And I'm glad that you come to me and discuss with me about things that are on your mind and things that need to be cleared. I would love to see you come back to YouTube at some point. I understand if you don't. I know there's a lot of people that support you, man, and a lot of people that, I mean, you have grown eons from your very first time on YouTube. And I think that I think that people like you are necessary for balance. Um, I do. You know, I get told that, and like I said, I have a much, this isn't me like self-deprecating or anything, but I have a much lower opinion of myself than a lot of some people do, and so that's for my own messed up reasons in my own head. um, but you got it. You know, you can do whatever you want. You go into law enforcement, you can become a reporter or a counselor. I don't know. There's not many things that you're not suited for, you know. Um, and maybe YouTube isn't for you, and I can understand that. You know, I heard earlier that Pascal said that he's stepping away from the case. I didn't hear what happened. Did you hear about that as well?
I saw that he was. I didn't know it. I don't know any details about it.
Yeah, I don't know any details. I just know that, and that's like that's sad, really. I mean, once people stop covering or stop talking about the case, uh, I mean, look, it could go cold no matter what. But at least if people are talking about him, his name's out there, there's some hope. But I mean, there's just right now, it feels fruitless, you know, and I don't know why.
That's
I
just
don't
sad
know.
because it's every day that goes by is he's still out there somewhere. But nobody's given up. Even people, if you step away from coverage or you step away from the case publicly, there's always stuff to be done. I mean, I pray for Sebastian all the time. I know independent search groups that know exactly where to find me on a 4 hour notice if I need to come out and help. I mean, whatever it is that we can do, just putting up flyers, whatever it is, we can all
So you're
be.
so you're still willing to help search if called.
Yes, absolutely. I'm in touch with independent search groups, search and rescue teams that are out there, and if they need an extra person, I'm there.
Good. No, that's I I knew as soon as I had heard uh the more disparaging remarks. Um it's really frustrating because like I said, I'm pretty, I don't know. Are you, how new are you to YouTube? I mean, you've been around. How long have you had a channel?
Oh, it'd have been over a year
Yeah.
after I stopped.
Yeah. And it wasn't like a big channel or anything, man, but it definitely grew, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so do you think you'll ever come back to YouTube?
It's not, if it's in the cards, I'll come back, and if not, I'll pursue my same passions in another avenue.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mission stays the
It's,
same regardless of the avenue taken, is the way I see it.
yeah, no, I understand. I completely understand. And I think that, like I said, I think people like you are necessary, at least on some sort of forum. I mean, not a lot of people out there uh, move silently, do deeds without telling people. You know, in the Bible, it says, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Something, maybe it was the right hand and the left, or the left, or I'm not ambidextrous, but I'm just saying you get the point. And that's how you operate. That's how um, you've always operated. You're very quiet most of the time. Now, the thing was, you went and got that interview. And by the way, would you have done anything different there? I mean, and be honest, I mean, if you would, go ahead and say it. But I mean, and if you had, what would you do different if you would do anything different at all?
Well, I'll be honest, going into that interview, I had no idea that that interview would be something that would be used in a court case. That was that was something to me that I never thought through because, like I said, when it first happened, she got the clearance from her attorney in that case, but never once did I think it would be part of it. If I knew it was going to be, not saying I would do things differently, but it definitely would have changed my thought process on it because I never thought it'd be that because I had no intention to get in that deep and I didn't. But like I said, I mean, I just sat there in the court, but even to be listed, I had no idea that that was going to be a thing. But as far as somebody coming to me and saying, can this person share their story on your platform? That's the whole reason I made my platform is
Yeah.
to give people a voice. And so I do not regret giving her a platform at all.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm completely with you on it. I thought that you got to understand. So this is in the relatively early days of the investigation, and I'm always surprised at the amount of people, particularly women, um, who have a problem with women that are claiming to have been abused, and I have no reason not to believe somebody when somebody shows that their actions seem to match what somebody is saying. She's allowed to tell her story. She needed a platform, or she wanted a platform, and you know you were the one that facilitated. Now I told you. Remember that night though? Remember what I said to you?
Not exactly, but I remember we spoke that night. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I said you're going to get you're going to get blowback.
Oh, 100%. And I knew that, and she knew that too. We knew that it wouldn't be 100% in support, but she was okay with that, and I was okay with that because it was more important that she just had that platform and told her story.
Yeah, right. And I, like I said, I believe her. I don't have the facts in front of me, and but she was telling her story, and I believe it. I believe what she was saying. It wasn't an unbelievable story at all. Somebody said claiming. Yeah, that's what I said. Hey, I have no idea what happened. Are you there?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay, we're back. So yeah, like I was saying, yeah, I said a claim. I mean, it's not up to me to decide. And by the way, I'm not deciding. I just said that I believe her. I mean, I don't know what you want from me there.
I didn't say to believe her either. That's why I said, that's why did it the way I did. I told her the way I was going to do it if she was going to come on and she agreed, just she tells her story because I wasn't, I couldn't sit there and say that this is all factual. And I also didn't want to guide the interview at all and ask questions because it's not my story to tell, not my story to guide. I just simply said, record, took my face off the screen, and she told her story. And people had the choice to, believe it, not believe it. Some people, the amount of people that related to it, I believe it was worth it in that regard because the amount of people in similar situations felt that they were empowered by somebody speaking out like that, and that's what it was about to me.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that you had to kind of go on a little tour to tell everybody your reasoning. I the other day I found myself in a position where I was, people were questioning why would you release that, that phone call or whatever, and I said why I did, and then once you say that the reason that you did it, that gets questioned. Well, that's the reason you did it, and it's just like it's never enough, bro. Like it's never like you will explain yourself to death, and that's what people want you to do. Just because they don't agree with you doesn't mean that you did the wrong thing. They don't get to choose what we do. If you want to get a channel and say your bull crap on there and give your Ted Bundy theories, which is insane. I mean, who thinks of stuff like that with zero, I mean, zero evidence? Yet they'll sit there and defend Chris and Katie Proudfoot. No picking on them. I'm just saying, I've heard some psychotic rants, come out of that place, and it's unbelievable to me. It really is unbelievable. I'm not going to tell you what channel did it because I'm not even sure what channel did do it, because I'm not going to even look at it. It got sent to me in a clip. I listened for about 45 seconds and went, they need to put a tent over that circus immediately, and let's get some straight jackets stat. Okay, because these idle hands are the devil's playground with these people.
Oh, it's just like it's ridiculous I mean, to say that about anybody. Not me. I would hate to see that said about a single soul, that you're willing to claim that they're, their state's biggest predator. They're making all the kids go missing. They help because they have, they have these crazy intentions. And then,
but Trevor, it's just a theory. It's just a theory, dude. What are you talking about?
Well, apparently, went as far to say I am the most feasible suspect in both cases. Feasible suspect. That's a strong opinion.
It's a theory. It's okay. It's a theory. You can say whatever you want as long as you have a theory. And look, I have theories about a lot of things. I think that Chris and Katie Proudfoot are not telling the truth, and but I don't think either one of them are Ted Bundy. I don't think that they're telling the whole truth. That seems feasible, right?
I feel like a lot more feasible than me being Ted Bundy.
Look, it's neck and neck, okay? But I'm saying, I mean, it's like, and the thing was, it wasn't even a joke. Like, no, whoever was saying that, and I don't know who that person was, they sounded like a Jeffrey Dahmer who read a joke book once or something. I mean, that's just like the most, I've never heard of such stuff. And they were serious, Trevor. Yeah. That's what scares me about it, is that it wasn't in jest. It wasn't a joke. Like, yeah, Trevor, you kind of like you got a little Ted Bundy going on there, and everybody goes, ha, 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 ha. And then the person placates him and goes, oh, yeah, it's just a theory. It's just a theory. It's just a theory. Well, I have a theory. You're both idiots. That's my theory. At least Ted Bundy was smart. Sort of. Not really. I think he actually was smart, wasn't he?
Well, I think he had some. Regardless of his intelligence, I think there were some other issues there.
Yeah. Intelligence wasn't his problem. His insane lust for blood.
Yeah, allegedly.
I think it was pretty well proven.
No, I'm just kidding. Because apparently we just drop theories everywhere.
Allegedly.
Oh, and I have no emotion. I'm so stoic. That was another one. I just don't have any. I don't have any emotion, so I'm like basically a sociopath. Apparently.
Have you ever cried?
Lots of times. I just don't fire up alive and cry.
I cried last night. What are you talking about? Yeah, I cry all the time too. The older I've gotten, the more I cry. It was kind of I watched when the little black kid didn't get adopted by Mr. Walton because he was black, and they said that like they couldn't go to church together or school together with the other kids. I cried at the Waltons because the little guy, what was his name? I always forget his name. Really famous actor, but yeah, it really bothered me. It really did bother me. I don't know why. Yeah, the Waltons are legit, dude. I try and catch one episode. Like, I try and catch like at least one episode a week because I like those. I like those kind of shows because I think that I'd probably be more suited to live in those times. Like, I'd be probably better at like, milking goats or something. I don't know. Do people milk goats? That's a thing, right?
It's just an interesting play. Like, it's just an interesting lifestyle you chose for yourself right there.
Well, I'm just saying that I think that I would be better suited for something like that. I'm not saying that that's something I just would rather live like Bonanza. I wouldn't want to live in those old times because baths are few and far between. But the early 20s and 30s, like on a mountain somewhere, would be legit. With like a big family. I don't know. I mean, milking
Yeah.
goats.
Milking goats like it's the old days.
Yeah. Yeah, milking goats, dude. I don't know why. I thought I was headed towards cow. I ended up on goats, but I feel like there's not enough people that are willing to milk goats.
Well, see, now you're stepping up in a field that needs you. Look at that.
I know. I'm the Ted Bundy of goat milking.
Okay. Well, we were going strong.
Can you believe that guy said he wanted to milk goats? I didn't say I wanted to. I'm saying I would have been more shows. I feel like my talents would have probably been better suited for that kind of a situation. All right, let's read a couple of these here. I'm the one who brought it to attention. I have y'all's back. It made me sick and angry. Candy, I appreciate that. And I got your message. Thank you. Trev, I personally want to say thank you for all you have done. You mean a lot to us. Hope you come back. We all love you. That's a fact. These drama channels cause more harm to cases. Well, we'll get called one today. That's all right. Trevor, you are a quality man, and I'm sickened by the way you've been treated. Keep the faith. I agree with that.
I appreciate you guys.
In my opinion, you're both well-intentioned for Sebastian. Thank you, JLo. That's very nice of you to say. And keep in mind, people don't usually attack people below them. Don't look down, keep rising, ignore those on levels below you both. I agree with you.
It's well said.
Trevor is definitely above. Wow, they're burning all the bridges. And like this isn't about Seth at all.
0%.
No.
I don't have any hard feelings towards Seth. I mean, let me just make that clear. But I mean, what happened the other night was caught me off guard and caught a lot of people off guard, and
they caught him off guard too.
Yeah, it happened, and it's the way it is. But I don't sit here every day and hold a grudge against Seth. I don't expect him to call me and apologize. I don't expect him to explain himself, because I think the situation he's in is what caused that. I didn't expect that to happen. And I did want the truth out about the things he was addressing. But at the same time, he and I are in very different positions. I'm a college kid, don't even have any kids yet. He's he's all this way in looking for his missing son. We're not in the same wheelhouse here. I mean, it's very different positions, and I don't want to sit here and hold that grudge. It just doesn't seem important to me. I think just getting back to Sebastian and I respected him asking me to step away publicly from the case, and so I'll get back to helping as I can behind the scenes, and we'll find a son.
Yeah, putting flyers out is always a good thing. It's if you get called to help search, I don't see what there's. You're just waiting for a call. It's just not a big deal, I love you, Trevor. Ignore the cow crap and keep. Is that a cow? I can't tell if it's a cow or not. Cow crap. I'm struggling here, brother. And keep being you. We're going to go with cow crap. Now, I don't know if any of you know or ever heard of someone named One-Eyed Flo, but she's a mod on this channel. And she claims that she has one eye. But there are rumors and speculation that she has two. Turn on that live, Trev, and watch the support explode. Love wins. We love your hate, folks. We love it. Oh, it's just fantastic, right, Trevor?
Oh,
keep it going.
Keeps us going.
Whistle while you lurk. Make sure to sub up to Whistle while you lurk. Somebody drop it. We got to get Whistle to 1,000. They're very close. Whistle's got a great clip channel.
That's a good channel right there.
Yeah. And Naomi becoming a YouTube member. Thank you. I appreciate that. Trev, we have your back. You have always presented as well as followed truth. Keep moving forward. And I agree with you.
Much love. Karen's an OG on the channel.
Big time. And because we'll be doing like call-ins and stuff. And when she calls in, it's
Oh,
Karen
it's Karen.
right away. Going for Boston. You know what I mean?
You hear the hello and it's over. You hear the hello from Boston and you got it.
Yeah. Yep. And Candidly, thank you so much for being a member for 2 months. Spirit Seeker Squad became a YouTube member. What are you doing tonight, Trevor? You got plans?
I'm actually gonna go mountain nearby, go hike the trail. It's very clear day, and I'm gonna watch the sunset.
Really?
Yep.
I'm probably gonna watch a baseball game. What you said sounds cool. Sounds like. Do you take a backpack and everything?
Yeah, I photograph nature a lot. I try to. I get out and take pictures of the sky and of the mountains here. It's a very beautiful area, so I try to get out and do that.
God, really? Like Brian Koberger?
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, basically. I mean, since I take pictures, I'm basically Koberger because since I, breathe, I'm Ted Bundy.
That's so stupid, dude. I just don't even know what else to say about that. It's almost like by the end of the day, I'll just be laughing about it nonstop because like there's people these people receive summons for jury duty in the mail. Can you imagine that? Like, and that like the first time they show up and they're like, so why do you want to be on this trial? Well, I knew a guy that was like Ted Bundy once.
Oh, really? Yeah, he was on YouTube. He put up some flyers one time, and I really just thought he was, like Ted Bundy. I mean, he blinked.
Fat loser named Josh would have him on his show sometimes. It would be like
one time he blinked, and it was really like a Bundy blink.
It was one of the most emotionless blinks I've ever seen in my life. There was no emotion in his blink.
He didn't even shed a tear when he blinked.
Oh my goodness. It's uncalled for. I'll tell you that. Just when you blink, Trevor, you put that emotion into it, boy.
Gonna try.
It's just the dumbest thing I've ever. I mean, really, it really is. And I'm sorry that it was said about you. Gypsy became a YouTube member. Thank you very much. And Spirit Seeker Squad, I've seen you around, like your stuff. And Angel P. Well, yeah, somebody says you gotta laugh. I mean, I don't know what else to do. What else would you do? Is there anything else to do?
Other than it's so extreme, you just got to. I mean, can you really take that stuff seriously? Like,
no, you can't. But and the only reason that we're here we're not even talking about that is, I mean, you're here to set the record straight on what had happened when it came to the court case. And for the people that are just joining, if you want to say this one more time, and then we can be done with it.
Sure. So like everybody knows, I interviewed Nina Gomez. At that point, I knew of a custody case. Did not know that the interview would never once in my mind did I even think that an interview would be part of a custody case. Maybe that was just my ignorance. I'm not up to par.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But so time went on, and I was called in as a witness by one of the party's attorneys because of my interview. I did not ask to be part of it. It was not like a plan of mine to be a part of it. I did not have any, desire to go, I'm going to be a part of this custody battle. I was just here to talk about cases. Well, they said, can you come in come on Zoom and testify as to your video? Not to anybody's character, not as an expert. I'm not an expert in anything. There wasn't anything that I was doing except for basically verifying my interview. Well, turns out they didn't even use it, to my knowledge, because I sat in a Zoom waiting room for 4 hours staring at my own face. So that's all it was. I think people may have thought I was more involved than I was. I wasn't involved at all. I watched I know as much of the hearing as any of you guys do.
Were you able to watch Netflix or anything?
No.
Really? I would have brought an iPad on the side, Please know, Trev, that Trev not in that live. Agree with it. Please know that.
I think she means no one. She's talking about the live, the Bundy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it now. Yeah. Oh, nobody agrees with the Bundy. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't. I mean, But the fact that like somebody, I would stop somebody from like going that route just really for their own mental health, but for them to explore down that road that you know, we have a East Tennessee, you know, child napper named, you know, Trev. You know, I just I find that highly ridiculous. Trevor, you want to take just a couple calls real quick and then you can go hike?
Why not?
Sure. 808-818-5261. If you would like to call in real quick, we'll take just a couple calls and then we'll be done with this. Now, once again, if you call in and you suck, you're going to hear a very distinct sound. That's not it. It goes a little something like this.
No, you don't like that call. I don't like that call. Not a very good call.
It's not a very good call. I'll run you off. I'll
if
run
you
you
come
off.
talking about Ted Bundy, you'll get that too.
I mean, it's one of the most unbelievable things. One Love, thank you so much as well. Phone hasn't rang yet. Nobody's calling. All right, let's shut her down, buddy. Let's see. 14. I love that though. And I've only got to use that once or twice. Okay. Here we got a couple calls now. We'll just take a quick couple. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air. Hello, caller.
Hey, Josh. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. This is Brooke from North Dakota, and I've been following the Sebastian Rogers case. And I just want to say that both of you guys, I don't care who says what, you guys are absolutely crushing it, putting out awareness for this child. And Trev, you're amazing. And don't let anybody bring your spirit down, which I don't think that you are, but you guys just keep going. I'm so proud of y'all, and I've been listening to the new podcast, Josh, and you have grown so much, and every show gets better and better.
Thank you.
And I just adore the both of you.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
Right.
Okay.
Thanks for
calling. All right, guys. Love you guys so much.
All right.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's true. The new podcast is absolutely killing it. You know, it's just, I mean, what can you say? You know?
Out of the park.
It's fantastic. I got, we're going to be dropping 2 episodes this week too.
2.
Oh. Because
I'll put them up on my
because
download.
all we do is talk. Speaking of talking,
I think that's the point of a podcast, but you know.
Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, Josh.
Hello.
Hi, Trev.
Hello.
Hi, this is Charnel. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this question, but I heard some ranting from another platform, and that person that shall not be named said there is no way that we know what happened to him, to Sebastian, and there's no way we will ever know. And I thought that was a little odd to assume that we would never know. We would never be able to find out. Why is that? It's just like when CP says, when he says, you know, just poof, there's no evidence. There's no way. No, he's not over there. You guys are barking up the wrong road. This has nothing to do with finding Sebastian. All that kind of stuff. I think, well, then what does? What does, Chris?
Yeah.
What does have something to do with why he went missing?
Well, great question. You know, I ask myself that a lot too when people say, you know, how does this help find Sebastian? What does this have to do with Sebastian? And I say the same thing in all children's cases, especially in younger children, particularly. But in this case as well, because Sebastian was taken care of pretty closely, I would imagine. Um, what is it that you're supposed to talk about? Like, what is it that is going to who do you talk about? What do you talk about? You talk about the people that are in charge, because it's not normal. And I'm not saying that this implicates them in the child going missing, but it's just not normal for children to vanish out of a house, and then to tell people that there's no evidence, that there could never be evidence. Don Wells told me the same exact thing. There's no evidence. There could never be evidence. And I'm sitting there going, how do you know that? Evidence.
Right. How it just really struck me that guy was saying there's no way we will ever know. Well, if we find Sebastian and unfortunately he's met his demise, we would know something.
Yeah.
If we find him and he's alive, we would know something. And I believe that because it's not supposed to be known what happened to him, I believe that that's why they trust that story will never get out, because they know what happened to it.
I feel a lot really similar to you. However, I'm not open to other explanations. I really at first was thinking that, it's possible that he ran away, but I mean, just the longer that went on, and then thinking about the circumstances of which he would have to have ran away, it does not seem like something that's viable. It doesn't seem like something that, and so when people say, why are you digging into, their lives, or what do you think that law enforcement, and I'm not saying that we're law enforcement, but what do you think that law enforcement does? Who do you think law enforcement's the first people that are looked at? And then when things we've all seen parents of missing children that have nothing to do with that don't have anything to do with it, that are just scratching and clawing for information. And I just don't happen to see that. Now, if that makes me a bad person and I'm casting aspersions on grieving families, then I'm sorry. But I'm not telling anybody to harass those folks. I would never sanction anything like that. I'm not okay with it. Don't go to their house. Don't message them on Facebook. But people are allowed to have their opinions. They're allowed to have their opinions.
Yeah. And no matter what, if we learn anything as a society to be watching more for signs of stuff like that, then Sebastian has done something good for society.
Yeah.
Either way. And I believe that people need to keep an eye out for other people. Keep an eye out for your neighbors and any child that's in your life. Yeah. Make sure that they're being treated all right.
I agree. And I appreciate your phone call as well.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Bye, Jeff. Bye, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there it is, Trevor. We're going to let you get hiking, quite literally. You have a bag? What's in your backpack? I got to know real quick.
A little first aid kit.
That's it?
Well, I'm still going.
Oh, I know you got a granola.
Of course. Got to bring a snack and bring my water bottles.
Dude. What about a soda pop? A little DC?
Nah, just the waters.
Little Diet Cokers?
Little too hot for the old cokers.
Little soda pop. Little baby sodas. Have you seen those like small little soda cans?
The little baby ones, yeah.
I want to see Shaq drink out of one of those.
Yeah, they like cover. He could like lift them with his pinky, like.
Yeah, because like him holding a regular can would be ridiculous, but I don't even think that you would be able to like get your. I was reading this too. There's so much aspartame, and for some reason, and it tastes good. I don't know why, but there's way more caffeine in a Diet Coke than a regular Coke.
Really?
Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate it.
Is there really?
Yeah, there is. I don't know why.
Uh,
I was trying to figure that out. It didn't make any sense to me.
Guess you're gonna be wired now.
That's not a good car. No. You don't like that car. I don't like that car. Not a very good car.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have a cup of coffee here too. Thank you, Trevor, so much, and I hope this kind of sets. Let me make sure I didn't miss. Let's see. Thank you for all you do. Love your channel. Thank you. Trevor, will you keep us posted on the evil Sean Williams case somehow? You know he will. He will.
Yeah, I'm on. If it's okay to plug my new free platform that I write on.
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, you guys will have to find me.
I'm just kidding. Please do.
Hold on, let me grab it.
Go ahead. Hey, if you want to put it up, I can.
It's just I'm over on Substack, so I write articles, but I'm absolutely covering Sean every step of the way till he's in prison.
You're a blogger now.
Basically.
You blog.
Yeah.
And can people subscribe to that?
Yep. And you get email you can set it where you get emails when I post articles as well if you'd like.
It says it wants me to type my email. I said no thanks.
You can just say no thanks. Yeah.
I did. Oh, I did. Like the lady at the gas station, she's like, "Do you want text messages from your Chevron savings?" And I go, "Text messages to where?" She's like, "Your phone." So why the hell would I want that? She's like, "I don't know. I have to ask." And I said, "No, I don't want a gas station texting me." All right. But it was nice of her to ask. So there it is right here. Check Trevor's Substack. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Make sure to go over there and subscribe, read them, share them. They'll keep you updated. Are you able to go live on this platform?
No, it's just writing. You can there's actually a podcast section too where you can record, but so far I've just been writing articles.
Hey, I know a guy that does podcasts.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. You never know, right? Trevor, thank you so much, man. You go have a good hike.
I appreciate you.
Take care. All right, so that's the end of it. And that's really all that you're going to get out of it from us. I felt like I got him into a lot of this, and that it was a lot of it was my fault. So I hate that. Muscles, 2 years. Hey everyone, Josh and Trev, thank you for all you both do. I appreciate that very much. I really do. Let me see here. Get some more comments on the way out. Josh, thanks and hugs. Great job in all you do. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day, Trevor. 2 years. That's right. I feel responsible for some stuff. Wins part 2. I'll have to ask. Hopefully soon. Hopefully very soon. Maybe people are upset that they didn't get the interview. I don't know. If she wasn't truthful, that would come out in the hearing. If she was truthful, then shame on Chris. I agree with you very much on that. Yes, he has left YouTube. He has left YouTube. No, not getting rid of me for now, so I'll still be a pain in your side. Just sure Trevor doesn't be. No, that means. All right. You guys have a good night. Lab After Dark tonight. I believe 9 o'clock on the West Coast. That is midnight on the East Coast. And everywhere else, I can't explain it to you. But set your alarms if you want to be there. Appreciate it. See you soon.